Hey guys, it's Angie. Today I'm going to be doing another tutorial based around Jack the Ripper. I have done Jack the Ripper. If you want to see it, I'll put it right here above where Johnny's face is. If you get that reference, 2 thumbs up to you. Anyway, today we're going to be doing Mary Kelly, and no, this is not a historical representation of Mary Kelly. Her body was pretty much dismembered. You couldn't even recognize any facial features. It was just that awful. I mean, she was just dismembered. Anyway, I'm doing a tutorial based upon her for Halloween just because, you know, makeup wise, I thought it'd be kind of interesting. So we've got a slit kind of neck, which Jack the Ripper was kind of known for, as well as like this gash on the face. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial and let's get started. I'm going to create some wounds using toilet paper and liquid latex. You want to try to find 1-ply toilet paper if possible. The thinner the sheets, the easier it is to work with. So as you can see, I'm just ripping some little strands of toilet paper and I'm going to be applying those to my neck and to my face as well. And what you do is you just lay down a little bit of liquid latex, like a thin layer, and then you place the toilet paper on top of that. And then on top of that toilet paper, you're going to go over it with liquid latex again, and then add another little thin layer of toilet paper. It's definitely a layering process, so you're going to want to add some more liquid latex. After that final piece of toilet paper, I added maybe 3 or 4 more layers of liquid latex. And you want to wait for that to dry, and then once it's dry, you want to powder it completely because liquid latex will stick to itself, and it's just a hassle. And again, I repeated that process on my cheek. I just did a thin layer of latex and a thin layer of tissue, a thin layer of latex, and then a thin layer of tissue, and then even more latex on top, and then finished it off with powder. You can also use a Q-tip to blend out the edges of the latex. Next up, to create the wounds, you're going to need some tools. I'm just using an extractor and tweezers as well as cuticle scissors and just pushing that up into the latex and separating it from my skin. You do want to powder between this as well because the latex will stick to itself. And now I'm just taking the scissors and the tweezers and cutting open the wound as if it's, you know, exposed and just a huge gash. Doing the same thing on the neck, and you want to be very, very careful on your neck. You want to be careful on your face too, but just be careful with the scissors and make sure that you kind of separate the latex from the skin first before you stick the scissors up against your skin. And again, powder as need be. I wanted a little more dimension to my wounds, so I'm going to be using a gelatin mixture. It's actually gelatin, honey, glycerin, and water. I'll have the recipe on my blog as well as a link to the recipe that I used down below this video. But I'm just smoothing that around the edges of the wounds and creating just a little bit more volume and texture. Gelatin's really awesome to work with. You can actually dissolve out the edges using witch hazel. If you want to do something like that, you can also mold prosthetics with it. It's just a really cool and versatile type of product. And I did powder over that just to, again, powdering is the key to life. For my foundation, I used my regular foundation and mixed a gray matte eyeshadow with it. I wanted to kind of cancel out any color and just dull it down and make it look like dead flesh. I'm going to run that all over, even the edges of the wounds, and just all over my chest. Any kind of area where your skin's going to be showing, you want to cover that up. You don't want any signs of life on your skin. Don't you dare forget your powder, darling. Next up, I used the Nye Bruise Wheel. I love this thing to pieces. I think I'm actually going to marry it. Yeah, I'm infatuated. Anyway, I just used this to create some different textures on the skin and to create some shadows and depth to make things look sunken in that might be sunken in when you're dead. You know, just creating these different textures, even some bruise effects with this, and just mottled skin, just really deathly kind of complexion. And I did mix the different colors. I mixed the purple, which is like a really dark grape purple, and then the red, as well as the burgundy wine-ish kind of color. And I feel like it gave the look a little more dimension to do it that way. As you can see, I kind of stippled these products on just using a synthetic brush. Synthetic brushes are best for these grease paints. Now you can see I'm just placing a little bit of black and red grease paints inside of the wounds. This will give it more depth and just create a little bit more dimension. Girl, you look a hot mess. Look at that. Now I'm going to be using some gelatin blood. I got this idea from Let's Makeup or Siobhan. She did a really cool tutorial using gelatin as blood, and I thought it was brilliant because if any of you have ever messed with fake blood, you know it is a mess. It's a bloody mess. Anyway, using gelatin as the blood, you can actually kind of create these drip patterns, and they'll stay the whole night, and they won't run down your face, and they won't get smeared off. It's just the perfect way to have fake blood if you're going to be wearing it for Halloween. So thank you, Siobhan, for that awesome tip. You guys should subscribe to her. Alright guys, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to come back and see me again sometime. Otherwise, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. And thank you so much for watching. See you later. Bye.